Hi everybody, Mario here. So it's been a week. It's been a whirlwind. I've gone to Albuquerque, I've come back, I've had interviews, I've written blogs, and I'm just sitting here kind of reminiscing on my trip through the Southwest. And as I was driving down that Interstate 40, I was hit with memory after memory after memory. Growing up, my father thought it very important for my brothers and I to be educated about the plight of the Native Americans and understanding the Native Americans. So when I drove by Monument Valley and Window Rock and Canyon de Chelly and Walnut Canyon, the Petrified Forest, Meteor Crater, and Acoma. So all these places I've already visited as a child because my father thought it very important for me and my brothers to understand who these people are and how they are related to us. I come from a tribe in the south of Mexico called the Purepecha Indians. We are a completely different group than the Aztec. We, in fact, were enemies of the Aztec and were never conquered by them. My people are from this area in Mexico, and they're a very proud people. The Purepecha Indians are very, very proud. As a matter of fact, in 2011, the government had been subjugating all these people who lived in my hometown. And I can't even say it's my hometown because I've never seen it but once when I was a little child in my mom's, you know, papoose, if you want to call it. She wrapped me up in rebozo, which is a traditional fabric shawl, and she hoisted me up, and there's a picture of me riding on my mom's back with my father and my grandmother, and I don't have any recollection of it, but yet there I was in this homeland, if you will. And the people there are my family. They are my ancestors. They are where I come from. And not to digress too much, but in 2011, they rose up against the government and the cartels. They finally had enough of the corruption, the lies, the deceit, and the false imprisonment of my men in my town. So what happened was the women actually ended up rising up against these cartels and taking up arms, freeing the men, giving the men arms, and the entire city stood up as a unit and pushed out the federal government, pushed out the corrupt politicians, pushed out the corrupt cartels from their area and said, we are not going to handle this anymore. We're not going to deal with this anymore. We are going to govern ourselves. And for the past couple of years, they have governed themselves. The government of Mexico has recognized them as an indigenous governing body. They haven't quite received their status as like a nation, but they do have their own elections that are not run or monitored in any way, shape, or form by the Mexican government. As a matter of fact, they don't even have campaigns. Their election system is such that the locals nominate other locals to the position. So you don't even get to choose and say, I want to be mayor. It's your peers saying, you should be mayor. So this is where I come from. These are the people that I come from. And coming across the Southwest and being older now, I have a newfound respect for the Southwest in general. These sisters and brothers that I have that are in a country not too far from us. Before the borders were there, we used to trade back and forth. And one of the things I did do was stop at a trading post and pick up myself a little souvenir. I picked up a watch tip for my smartwatch. And if you guys can see it, this is a Kokopelli. The Kokopelli is a Native American figure. He is known as a herald. He heralds the spring. He heralds the new life. He's also known as a traveler. He's brings news, he brings good tidings, and I really identify with this Kokopelli because I'm trying to be this voice, I'm trying to be this herald of this movement, and going through the Southwest, I was able to kind of reconnect with that. The indigenous people who were there attending to me while I was shopping, I was telling them about me, and immediately we had this sense of kinship that we are indeed brothers and sisters on this planet. And while they have their tribes and their names, I have my tribe and my name. And it's fantastic to be able to reconnect with these things. And I just want you guys to share. I wanted to share that with you guys. So that's my little quick story about my home, my homeland, where I am, where I come from, and what makes me me.